Okay. Uh, Hopefully audio is okay. I'm not sure. I haven't streamed with audio in a long time. Usually I just use Zoom for classes. So so for tonight, I'm just gonna work on retopologizing the face. I guess I'll also do some or give some insight on the workflow or my thought process on how I do it. So basically, you need to have a finished head already for this. I guess you haven't seen some of these, but sorry. There. Usually when I do red topology, I don't use the shrink wrap modifier because my sculpts, sometimes I don't connect the things together. Like for example, the head and the body are separate usually because from my experience, the head usually ends up with a lot of polygons, and it causes issues sometimes if there are so many polygons here already, and then you have to include this when you're doing sculpting. Sometimes it lags a bit, so I have them separate. And because of that, I can't really use shrink wrap, although usually shrink wrap has I guess it depends on how detailed your sculpt is. It has good results, but for me, I don't usually use that. I use the face project in order to snap stuff. I'm trying to get used to this face nearest, so it's a new feature in 3.3, but I can't get it to work as similar to how shrink wrap does. So I just use face project. Maybe in the future I'll get used to it. So I just use face project and then check project individual elements, and then make sure that move, rotate, and scale are enabled there. Otherwise it won't snap when you rotate and scale. So it's just a matter of adding points and moving them around. I've been trying to get used to using B surfaces too, but maybe I just got too used to this. So it's this B surfaces add-on. Oops, I'm not using the right object. There. You basically have to set this as the red topology object, and then when you start drawing, even if you're in edit mode, start drawing, it would add faces there. See, I used to have issues with this, but I learned that if you have edges selected, for example this, and then you draw, and then you use add surface, so it will connect them. Because just the drawback of this is it shades flat your model, so I don't know why it does that. But yeah, something to get used to. And for making it more even, I just go to sculpt mode and then use slide relax to make the distance between the edges more even. So basically that's the technicals of how I do facial red topology. In terms of the principle, I guess, I don't know. To be honest, it changes. I don't think I've red topologized the same face twice. I don't usually I use guides just as a basis, but I don't copy them vertex per vertex because I think it really depends. So for example, with this model, the laugh line is pretty deep, so I really have to put that there. Sorry, I think the music is a bit too loud. There. And where was I? Sorry, yeah, the laugh line, I usually put that. But then for the eyes, for example, I've seen guides where the line that goes that way, some where it goes to the mouth, and some where it goes under here. I guess it really depends on what you're going for. So yeah, and I know I can't really tell honestly when to use what. Like sometimes it's just, oh, I think that looks good, or sometimes because there are specific things that I want to happen. So for example, like with this, similar to with the face, right? If I want to have these curves there, these folds, if I want to see them in the red topology, then like even without textures, I mean, sorry, then I'll have to model them there. I think that's what I did for the clothes here. Pardon my organizational skills. Yeah, I tried doing that here. So even if I don't have any textures, you can kind of see the fold there. I'm still trying to get used to how that works because yeah, it's a bit confusing. Usually I just model it straight, especially for like game models, simple models. That's much better, and you can use the same topology for the mirror. Like if you do it this way, then these will look exactly the same. Unlike if it's textured, then they might not be. Anyway, let's go to red topologizing then. So in this case, I'll red topologize the entire head, but most of the time you don't really have to. You only have to do the parts that are seen. So like maybe this one, but just for the fun of it, I guess. If I were in a rush, I wouldn't do the entire thing, or if I were more I had to think more about poly counts. I guess one thing to think about too is what are you using it for. So if it's like a game model, then I'd be more mindful of how many edges I end up with. But in this case, I guess it doesn't really matter. So I'm trying to get used to that B surfaces, so let's try using that. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you have to draw the strokes in the same direction. Oops, that's gonna be I think that's gonna be an issue. My mouse kinda let go. Oh no, it didn't. Because before this, normally I just use extrude and then rotate it. I don't know, sometimes I guess it's faster to do the B surfaces thing. So like this cleft chin, sorry, I really don't know how the volume is. I hope it's okay. I think I would, not sure. I know for sure that there needs to be an edge there, but I don't know where it's going. Probably around. Like this, maybe. And then for this line, I think I'll make it go down this way. So I don't think it will go all the way to the chin. Yeah, I guess that's the annoying thing about B surfaces, is it shades it flat. I don't know if there's oops, there's a setting there. Oh my gosh, I didn't notice it. Wait. Okay. So maybe this one, like that. Yeah, I guess that's why I don't usually use it, because it doesn't look smooth. No, sorry. That's the thing with facial red topology, is especially if you're not subdividing it, or if you're trying to be mindful of the poly counts. So even with VTuber models, this one I'm using subdivision, but if I don't, sometimes you would notice this, the jaw looks weird. Usually that's because of the triangulation of the quads. So like, I don't know if you notice, but sometimes maybe in your models you see in the side view it looks like that instead of like that. Maybe I can't show it yet because I don't have enough faces. So yeah, if you're working with limited topology, then you have to be mindful of that. So how the edges flow matters. So especially for anime models, usually I make it go there, but I guess in this case it might be better to go this way. Like this. I guess you can hide the parts that we don't need. Oh, I should turn on my keys just in case. What's this thing I just learned a while ago? Maximize window. Control Alt spacebar. Why isn't it working? Anyway, so that's what it was on a while ago. Maybe this one goes there. Since this one doesn't connect to an arm, it's just there because he has like a shirt. I guess I could add points here, but if it were connecting, I think it's better to be mindful of that, because sometimes you don't know where that goes. Like if you add a loop here, then it goes all the way to the fingers, and it goes all the way to the toes. It's a bit hard if that happens, because you're adding unnecessary vertices. There's one thing I learned recently with using the grid fill, because I normally have a hard time using that, but I learned because like usually I'd select that and then go grid fill. Oops, grid fill. There. Oh, it didn't work in this case, but like say for example, this one. If I use grid fill here, sometimes it does that. So it's annoying, then you have to click here and then find the right settings. So I don't know why this isn't the default, or I guess it's not too obvious, but the quick way to do that is just to select two opposing edges, as if you're going to use, what do you call this tool? Bridge edge loops. And if you use grid fill, it connects them there. I just learned that recently, because before I used to use grid fill, and I was like, That's so annoying. Why does it? Why you have to click so many things just to get it closed properly? Okay, and then I guess this one doesn't really have too much there, but it would probably be a good idea too. Oops. Okay. Like this maybe. Oops. There's this auto merge vertices too. I think some people prefer that, but sometimes it merges stuff that I don't want to merge, so that's why I don't use it. See, annoying. So one reason to why I use what do you call this, snapping for the face and not shrink wrap is because sometimes the resulting mesh doesn't really conform to what the character should look like. So at least if you're using shrink wrap, you can kind of play around with it. So later when I see, oh, it doesn't, it looks melted. So I'll have to adjust the points, and I'm free to adjust them because I'm not like constrained to the shrink wrap. Because especially here with the jaw. Sorry, the cleft chin. Is this where I want it to be going? Guess we'll see. I'm not really sure where to make it go. At least this one looks okay. And there's an issue here I usually have with because you really end up with more points on the head than you have for the neck. Oops. So since this isn't connected to a body, it might be easier to just add points there, but sometimes I've seen people do this and I haven't found a lot of like bad reasons not to do it yet. Sorry, maybe I should add just a few vertices. Yeah, is they add triangles here. I guess they're not obvious enough, so it's okay. So like maybe extrude them like this. How did I do that? There's a shortcut for merge. I don't know, maybe it was just my mouse. I just pressed M and then it merged at the center. Oops. Wait, sorry. Huh. There. I've seen it. This, and even with the forehead sometimes, especially in parts that don't get too seen. Sometimes it's not that obvious. I guess if you go like with three subdivision levels, then it becomes more visible. So I don't know if you can see it in stream, but there's just like this bump here. But if you don't use too much subdivision levels, it's not too obvious, because you end up with these 3-point quads here. I think if you make them bigger, they become less obvious. Let's try using sculpting on them. This slide relax has a filter. This one, mesh filter, I think. This one. But sometimes it's too relaxed. if I just want specific areas, I can use this. Okay, then I will extrude this. When I was like much younger, my loops for the mouth went something like this, I think. This isn't inside though, this is still outside. And I think that looked much better, because like there's no pinching here. But sometimes you end up with more vertices that way, so I stopped doing it. I don't know, that was like 10 years ago, I think, when I stopped doing that. But I think it does look much better compared to like this. Oh, I guess one thing too with shrink wrap is you can't really extrude this inwards unless you use like vertex groups. But then if I start doing that, then it's a bit too much work already, so not worth it, I guess. I have the loop tools add-on to make this into a circle. I think it's much faster. And I'll just have to adjust it. So what you just have to do here is make sure that you don't see this. So just extrude it deep enough so that it's not visible. The end, I mean. So there, you can't really see where it goes. That's fine. So don't just like cut it up to here maybe, so you can see the inside of the head. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Oops. Since I still have the mirror modifier, it's not much of an issue. But sometimes if you use snapping, the smooth brush on a already symmetrical mesh, it messes it up. It has something to do with like floating point stuff. I don't know, that's like complicated math. But it messes up the edit mode symmetry. So what you do is just select everything, then go to snap to symmetry. Well, it failed in my case because I don't have symmetry. I use the mirror modifier. So I just need to add more loops here so I can close the mouth. I think I need to make it a bit more rounder. and then I'll just use what do you call this in Maya, in Blender, proportional editing. Yeah, smooth select, soft selection in Maya. Make sure that you have connected only checked, so that you can only, so that it's only editing one side, so it's not affecting the other, the top side if you're editing the bottom. Kinda lost the shape. Maybe I need to add more points. No. I wonder what happened. Is it my internet? Or is it just my router? My router's acting up, I think. Oh, that's always been my issue with like Wi-Fi and stuff. I mean, it's such a blessing to not need to wire stuff anymore. And if I did, my dog might eat the wire. I don't know. But yeah, my connection to the router is a bit unstable. There, I think it's better. So this one goes down. Yeah, so this is why I don't usually like shrink wrap. So I can just turn it off and then see, oh, there's supposed to be this like dip here, the Cupid's bow. Okay, so now it's gone. Hello, hello. Ah, that's a bit annoying. Yeah, routers. Sometimes it's just my computer, like my phone's okay, my iPad's okay, but there, it's not connecting. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Maybe because my computer's kind of far from the router. It's like on the farthest edge, farthest wall from the router. We should also start recording just in case. Yeah, cause it. Hello, hello. It's timing out. Yeah, that's always been my issue. Like before, I used to use the Wi-Fi dongle, so it's probably my. I'm not really sure if it's really my router or if it's my Wi-Fi card on my computer. Well, based on like past experiences, sometimes it's the Wi-Fi card.